Hello, my viewer. Welcome to Health Now Show, your health friend. With me, Jane Kariuki. I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm so glad to have you today so that we can move together on these issues that we are talking about. And thank you again for your feedback. We are receiving it and we are acting on it. We really appreciate your feedback, your comments, and what you're telling us that you need to see in our subsequent shows that we bring here. Because what we say in Health Now Show is that we are out there to sensitize you, to create awareness on issues that matters to you, matters of health, both physically and emotionally, mentally, and any other area of your health that is important and critical in your life. In the world today, we have many issues that affect our lives. And most of the time, we concentrate on the adults. There is a segment of our population in the world that we do not take much interest on. And for this month of May, where we are talking about mental health, we are focusing also in this show on that segment that is very, very important. Our children. Our children go through mental health issues just like any other individual, any other person. And May being a mental health awareness month, we will also bring a whole episode on matters our children. So that you, our parents there, our workmate there, Sunday school teacher there, our pastor there, somebody out there with children in their neighborhood, they'll be able to see what are these things that affect our children and also seek help for them, as we are going to see later when we bring in also a medical practitioner who is going to help us. Today, our session is going to look at that segment that is very important to us. For us believers, we always say that our children are blessed in the land. They are blessed in the land. And the Bible still says that the fruit of our womb is blessed. And for these children that are the fruit of our womb, and I know some may not have a fruit of their womb, but there is faith, there is hope that the Lord is going to give them, that God is going to give them. When we have these children, we are working with them in our homes. We are interacting with them in schools. We are interacting them in the social places. We are saying they are part of this mental health awareness month because they are human beings on this planet Earth. And today I'm so happy, excited to have a friend, to have a colleague, to have a teacher, a Sunday school teacher, who has been my colleague in the children's ministry. We have worked together with her, and I'm so grateful to God for giving us an opportunity to do this in this month of May. And without really further ado, I would really want to welcome my guest for today, Nelly Mwenda. She's going to introduce herself further, tell us what she's doing, and bring in this concept of mental health in our children. Because in her day-to-day operations, in her ministry, she's all about children. And she's going to tell us what are some of the issues that need to be addressed by you, our viewer. What do we need to know? What do we need to look out for when we are at home, where we are in school, or any other social setting where our children are involved? So without further ado, I'm so happy
Thank you.
Welcome, Nelly.
Thank you very much, Jane.
Yes.
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you.
To be here.
Yes.
And a great honor.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, our viewer. My name is Nelly Mwenda, and I'm really happy to be here. Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Karibu tena.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So it's a great honor to be here.
Yeah.
To be here with the Jane Kariuki. I call her my senior counsel because she's indeed our consultant when it comes to children's ministry. And she's been of great help. And we really thank God. And I also want to thank God because you have thought about children when we're talking about mental health. Because, children, they may not be able to speak much.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know how to express themselves or say how they are feeling.
Yeah.
And so many times people forget about what they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because in our homes, they're not consulted when we choose where to live. They're not consulted in regards to how we ought to design whatever we are designing or making decisions. And unfortunately, even when there is grief, loss in our homes, people don't really think that children feel or they see or they actually understand. For sure, it is true, they may not fully understand. They may not be able to express how they're feeling, but there is a feeling that is there. So it is very key that you actually thought of children, and we thank God for you. Because it's not obvious.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've really highlighted something very, very important. The aspect of our children.
Yes.
Before we go to the next part, just so that you can really share with us some of the things that you have encountered in your journey as a Sunday school teacher. Kindly tell us, where did all this start so that you have this passion for children?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. As Jane has already mentioned, yes, I'm a Sunday school teacher. And by God's grace, I've been able to interact with them quite a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently, I started being interested in teaching children, I think just when I finished our teenage class when I was 19 and now graduating to 20, I felt like I wanted now to be part of the children's church. And thankfully, I got the opportunity, and that way I have the opportunity to be in the children's ministry many times. Then as I grew up, I'm also a nurse by profession, and it so happens that I also got so involved in what we call pediatric nursing, that is nursing the children.
Yeah.
So I have been able to interact quite a lot with children, and so that way, that's how you understand. I get to understand children. Back at the Sunday school level, you can actually know a child the way they have. Children are like open books. When they are happy, they are honestly happy.
Yeah.
There's no pretense about it.
Yeah.
When they are stressed, they are also just as such. It is difficult for them to hide. So sometimes you see one Sunday, a child who is very happy, very well groomed, very keen to just is the first one to come to church to make sure that the chairs are arranged, everything. And all of a sudden you see that the child has become reserved. Is not as groomed as they want to be. They are not as they don't participate as quickly as they normally do. Then for sure you will note that there is a problem there. They may not even be able to say it. But at least if we give them a chance, then they will be able to speak out. We have the great opportunity, in Sunday school when we ask for prayer items, children are very honest.
Yes.
Yeah, children are very honest. They will share if it is maybe someone who is not feeling well at home, or even there is financial issues, or they've had to change school, or they're not happy about what is happening in school, or they're not happy about a friend who is maybe a bully or something like that. And that gives us the opportunity to actually be able to identify issues that about what a certain child is going through. Yeah.
True. You've mentioned, Nelly, that you are also a nurse.
Yes, I am.
In your nursing profession and your day-to-day work,
Yeah.
I would imagine you meet then a lot of children.
Sure.
And there's some of the issues that probably are brought to seek help, attention. So what are some of the things that probably you see in your day-to-day work concerning children?
Thank you for that question. Yes, children, like I said, are really an open book, and sometimes because of the settings that we are in, even how children express pain, there are those physical illnesses, like if it's an injury, a child will be in pain and they will cry. But there are other things that come about that really is not a physical illness. You see? It's not a physical illness. Even the way this child is crying, for sure there is much more that the child is saying other than what is being presented. So it is important for us to actually pause and let the child express themselves. In the hospital, we as mothers, we have the tendency of thinking that we can speak for children all the time. So we will say, oh, the child has, when I touch, the baby feels hot, has not been feeding well.
The thermometer
our hand thermometer, it works. It works quite well. And we speak about that. And but there are those times when it is genuinely so, that is what is presenting. But other times when maybe the first time the child has been treated comes again the same kind of complaint. When we check the temperature and all that, you find that this is okay. So then it means there is much more. And now that it prompts you now to actually want to listen to the child. Maybe they have something much more.
There are those children that may not be able to speak. There's some with special needs that they may not be able to speak out and say. We will come to know the issues more, but there is group of children, let me just call them group, that they may not be able to express themselves verbally because of one reason or other, and the ones that also have special needs, they may not able to see or such kind of situations. So how do we then be able to get the emotional part of it and expressing their pain?
Thank you very much. Because children may not, because they have not completely developed their intelligence, they may not be able to speak. However, they can actually communicate. We hear of children, we hear of people talking about the terrible twos. They call them terrible twos because they cry, they throw tantrums, they roll on the floor, all that. But really, they're just, this is a stage where they have started understanding themselves. They have started understanding themselves. They want something that they are not actually able to say what. So sometimes things are just different. Sometimes they are afraid. Sometimes they feel frustrated. And so they express themselves in those tantrums. But also, when they are happy, they also are able to talk about, to express it. They will want a hug. They will come to you running, very happy. They want to come, pull your hand so that you can see things. So all that are ways that they express themselves. You will hear them singing songs that only they know the song, but you can tell that it is a happy song. So all those are
ways in which they express themselves
Mhm.
and they express their emotions.
Mhm.
So it is very important that we actually take time to understand them.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I also want to encourage parents at that time, at
Mhm.
this point,
Mhm. Mhm.
especially those that have little children.
Mhm.
Please don't see them as terrible tools. They are not terrible. They are just terrific. If you actually give them a
You
chance.
can come that again. You can
Yes.
come again. Yeah.
They are not terrible. They are just terrific. Yeah. If you give them a chance and actually want to listen, yeah, they will actually be able to express themselves. If a child rolls themselves, instead of you acting as angry, sometimes we think that they are just getting spoiled. They are
Mhm.
just being difficult.
Mm.
No, it is a time to actually calm down and realize that this child needs some form of support.
Mhm.
So instead of us being angry, calm down, tell them that you're ready to hold them. Give a hug. Yeah? And when this child finds that in you there is a safe space, then they feel more comfortable. They
Mhm.
feel secure.
Yeah.
Then they can be able to actually
Mm.
say what they want.
True.
Yeah.
Our viewer, I'm so excited because of what we are getting and what we are listening and what Navy is sharing with us from a point of knowledge, from a point of interaction with our children. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we are going to continue now. She's going to share with us her interaction in the ministry, in the Sunday school, some of the issues that we are seeing. We have already had her say that they are our children and they are crying out, expressing themselves and expressing their pain. Stay tuned. We are coming right back. We are still having our guest today, Nelly Mwenda. And before the break, she was talking about how children express themselves. And we are saying this is key for us, and especially this month of May, when we are talking about mental health. And the part that is our children also need to be focused on in terms of mental health. Nelly,
Yes.
what are some of the challenges that you have encountered with the children that they bring issues when they're coming to Sunday school, when you interact with them in their long journey from when you're 19 years? Hey, I've really admired that. From the time you're 19 years to now, what are some of the issues that you've seen with children, even as you interact with them on a day-to-day, or even when you're ministering to them, or even when you interact with them in a neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really take it as an honor that God gave me the privilege to serve in that way.
Yeah.
And I also want to say at this point, I'm very grateful. I serve at the Word of Faith Church in Kiambu.
Yes.
And one thing that I've appreciated is the way the leadership led by Bishop Thomas Mode has really, really invested in children.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are in a setting actually where we have been able to have children in different levels and there are facilities for that.
Yes.
So we are not all mixed up.
Yeah.
Because the little children, like I had earlier mentioned, express themselves differently from the juniors.
Yes.
And the preteens are different from the teenagers.
Yes.
So we really appreciate that actually that investment has already been made. That investment has already been made, and we have been able to group these children.
Yeah.
So at least I had already mentioned about the little children,
Yes.
and now we can now go talking about the juniors and the preteens and the teenagers.
Yes.
So now, children are at different levels.
Yes.
And their challenges are just as such.
Yes.
In different levels.
Yes.
So now we can be able to actually identify with the older ones that now come. Then they are able to speak, so they can speak. And like I mentioned, when we as adults provide a space where they can be able to communicate, then and be able to find a safe space, because people love being in a safe space.
Yeah.
If they find that, then they can open enough.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, we have been able to do like different programs for that.
Yeah.
First is put them in those different classes.
The different classes depending on their ages.
Yes.
Okay. Do you put them in depending on their ages or?
Yes, we put them in different ages.
Yeah.
Like we have the preschoolers,
Mm-hmm.
then we have the lower primary,
Mm-hmm.
then we have the juniors who are the around grade 3.
Yeah.
Then we have the upper junior.
Yeah.
Then we have the preteens.
Yes.
Before now having the teens.
Yes.
So that is how we have them. So for now we have 6 different classes.
Yes.
For so that we meet the needs of every children.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have different programs, like just when we just this past holiday, you see it was a long holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
We were able to do a vacation of Bible school, and it was so exciting. Jane, I'm telling you, we had fun. We had fun.
Yeah.
We played.
Uh-huh.
We learned the word of God. We interacted. We learned so much, including self-awareness, and
Yeah.
we had great fun in the presence of the Lord.
Yes.
And so if there is any parent out there, we invite all those children. Come to church. Bring them to Jesus. All the time the Lord is calling them.
Yeah.
You know, I can quote Mark 10.
Yes, yes.
Mark chapter 4 verse 10.
Go ahead.
Where he says, bring them to me.
Yes.
The Lord is in need for them. And another thing, let me just put it across here. For mental health,
Yeah.
it starts when we teach our children to that God loves them,
Yes.
and we teach them to love God. That relationship is the number 1 solution to mental health.
Good. Yes.
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 It is the number, whatever else other people say. What I have learned is that when a child knows how to love God, and they know that God loves them, one, they have confidence. They know that they are loved irrespective of anything else.
Yes.
Despite and in spite of anything, their circumstances or how they look, because these are some of the little things that really affect their mental health, how they look, what families they belong in, the things that surround them. Just when they know that they are loved by God just that way, then it is the first step to actually a very healthy, a mentally healthy child.
True.
So let all those children come to church. We have different programs all lined up for them.
Yes.
We also had the Teen Summit. We had the Teen Summit, and that was taking care of all the children from class 7 to the class 8, and then the high schoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also learned many times, then many things. Then after that, there was a retreat. So there was this holiday actually has gone so fast.
Yeah.
Parents were wondering, what shall we do with this holiday?
Yeah.
And for sure, it has gone so fast, and there was a lot of activity for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we really want to thank God for that.
You know, one thing that I know, even to our parents, our children's world, and especially the small ones, is what they see, the physical, what they experience, how they feel, what they touch, what they see, and that is what really makes them to even get entangled with all these things that affect their lives. And as Nelly really said very well, that they also have a way of expressing the pain and what they go through. And you have said that you put some strategies in place to make sure that they are also able to express themselves, like the summit, like the Bible vacation or Bible school.
Yes.
During their vacation, like also the retreat.
Yes.
And one thing that we know is that children, they heal more when they express themselves.
Exactly.
Even like doing activities, playing, doing many things, that it's still part of their healing process.
That's true.
So now at that point, what are some of the main things that our parents would need to know that are brought in? As you say, they are an open book.
Yeah.
They come with those issues to our Sunday school.
Yes.
So what are some of these things that you like our parents, our viewers to see and to hear, so that we can also be able to support our children to become
better people and healthier.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, you know, the first place that people learn anything and everything is our home.
Yes.
So, and the environments that are in our homes are very important.
Mm-hmm.
Our homes need to be a place where people feel loved, where people feel important.
Mm-hmm.
Because the things that really affect children is when they feel ignored, when they feel they're not important,
Mm-hmm.
when they feel like they are rejected,
Mm-hmm.
like they are unwanted,
Mm-hmm.
that they are a burden,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
because of it all comes out how we talk at home and how we treat them and how much time we even give them. Because so many children maybe have to go to school and we send them to school and we think that is where they will get everything. But no, as parents, we really need to know that our homes are the first place where people grow.
The first school.
Yeah, it is the first school.
Yes.
It is the first school.
Yeah.
Then also it also matters how we relate to one another here, back at home.
Mm-hmm.
How we treat each other even as our parents, as spouses now.
Mm-hmm.
What do we communicate to the children?
Mm-hmm.
Because they hear, they see, even much more than we intended them to hear.
Mm-hmm.
They actually hear.
True.
Yeah?
Family conflicts.
Yeah.
They get mixed up. They get stuck up there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have conflicts and how we resolve them.
Yeah.
If we shout at one another in front of them, yeah, you know, that alone makes them feel insecure, that they are not safe. It becomes even worse when now we are talking about separation and the divorce.
Yes.
For us as parents, we may think that it is just about us, but for them, they feel like their world is coming down. Yeah. And so the way they may take it, it may be a thing that becomes like an emotional scar forever, especially if it is not handled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things that happen in our homes matter to them.
Mm-hmm.
Families go through challenges.
Yeah.
It could be the loss of a job.
Mm-hmm.
How do we communicate? Do we take time to actually tell our children what has actually happened?
Mm-hmm.
So that they can now understand.
Mm-hmm.
We may not have as much money as we had.
Mm-hmm.
And so, family, let us look at how we are going to manage this. We just walked through a pandemic, which was very tough.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that happened, now I can give an example of my own family.
Mm-hmm.
One thing of the things that happened is that now where I was working, I had to move and go and work in an isolation center.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the way COVID, Corona came in, people never really understood it. People felt like they would need to be totally isolated. Like if I come in this home, I don't know. So I was just wondering how my children will take it.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up with ways of how shall we handle this now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did not want to be the one to bring the infection at home.
Yes.
So as we were talking, they came up actually with ideas. Because the little girl is the one who is always very quick to hug. She was told, no, don't hug.
Don't hug mom.
Don't hug mom. Please let her go shower until when she's ready for you.
Yes.
So the older one, who was at that time around 8 years or so, came up with a solution for this little girl. He made a trolley from a carton, and then he put wheels, so that when she rushes, she gave her she put it in such a way that it is like a car. So she will come to the door with the trolley, and mom can put her bags there and her things there.
Wow.
Then she will pull it until her bedroom, and you let her until when. So that one became like a way that people are going to cope.
So no contact with you first until you are sanctified, you are cleansed.
It was difficult,
Yeah.
but when I saw this, I could see at least people are relating to me. I could feel their support.
Yes.
And for me, that was something good.
Yes.
And as we even prayed, we prayed for those who are sick, for those who are working.
Yes.
And by God's grace, we passed through that.
Yes.
And I can tell you that was an emotional kind of a journey.
Yes.
That if we had not handled,
Mhm.
things were really going to get out of control.
Yes.
I would have felt isolated.
Mhm.
My children would have felt like distanced from their parents.
That mom doesn't love us.
That mom does not love us,
Mhm.
especially if I'm not going to be frank enough to see what is actually happening in my own life.
Yeah.
So it is the same thing. So even when we are going through different things in our lives,
Yeah.
we need to put it across.
Yeah.
Because again, children, if they are not talked to,
Yeah.
the older ones,
Yeah.
they will start looking for where they can find comfort.
Mhm.
And that's how they get into company
Mhm.
that now introduce them to drugs.
Yeah.
Now these drugs provide some temporary kind of relief.
Mhm.
Then in a short time, we land into addiction.
Mhm.
And you see, these are the consequences that come up. So mental health is very important from when children are very small, even as they grow.
So what we are telling the parents and we are sharing with the parents is that we be alert, we be focused on what is happening on their day-to-day.
Sure.
As even as we go along, we interact with our children, we feed them. We also be very, very aware of what is happening emotionally in their lives and also what is happening with us. Yes. So go on, Nelly.
So now, another thing that we need to tell our parents is that mental health is very important and children need to be supported.
Yes.
So that they can actually be aware of themselves, be aware of the social environment, and also know how to take care of themselves. When we do this, then children are able to thrive.
Okay.
They are able to thrive.
Yeah.
By the way, we think that children cannot be able to adjust.
Yeah.
But no, they are very adaptable, they are very flexible.
Mhm, mhm.
That's why they when you take your children to the village,
Yes.
then they have a lot of fun. Whereas you are thinking how it is not maybe clean, or then they have their time, they have the time of their life. They're able to adjust.
Yeah.
So if children are supported,
Yeah.
they are able to actually fit in very well. They can be able to actually express themselves if we provide the safe space. That also means then we also really have to be aware. So parents must be alert.
Yeah.
We must be willing to be very supportive to our children. Yeah.
And also parents, as we are aware about our children, we also need also to be aware of our own emotional state at that particular time, so that we also, as we are helping our children, when we are not healthy, we'll also transmit what is not healthy to our children.
Sure.
But when we are healthy, we'll transmit the same thing, the same environment, the same conducive environment. We'll be able to bring it out for our children, and our children are going to be healthier.
Sure.
You know, Nelly, there's a report I was reading another day, and I learned that in Kenya, one or more than one children out of 10 is depressed. One or more than one. The report was saying more than a child.
Yeah.
So that could be two,
Two,
could be three.
three.
So out of 10 children, one is depressed. And I'm sure parents are asking, how can a child be depressed? I'm sure we'll be looking at that more with a medical practitioner that is coming to join us later in our episodes that are coming up. But that is what I actually, looked at and I said, if it is 1 out of 10 children, then as parents, as caregivers, as guardians, we need to really be alert and be conscious about what is going on in the lives of our children.
Sure.
Because if it is 1 out of 10, in your Sunday school, how many children do you have?
If we have like 200, then it means 20 or more than 20.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Now you are handling, let's say, just like a rough figure. The 20, you are handling, they are depressed. You can imagine how difficult also it is, even for the teachers, even we are taking. And then, if it is prolonged, their suffering, their mental illnesses are prolonged, they become worse. even
Yeah.
as they grow, if attention is not given to that.
Sure.
So I would like us to probably share with us a parting shot, what you like the parents to know, even as they bring their children to Sunday school, and what are some of the things that they would need to do so that they can be supported, so that as the teachers are working with them in the Sunday school and other settings, and also in schools, they can also be supportive. What are some of the things as we come to the close?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to, as we wrap it up,
Yeah.
one thing that we really need to do is that show our children that we value them. We show our children, we communicate that we value them.
Yes.
Create time to listen to them. Let what they have to say matter to you. Yeah. Encourage them to actually have a voice that can be heard, so that then they are able to come out from their little space to actually to people who can contribute in your own family.
Yeah.
So let us provide that environment that says I care. Yeah, at home. Secondly, be interested to know what is also happening. Ask, how was your day? Don't just ask for the sake of it. Ask with interest that ensures that if the child has a story to give,
Yeah.
then you're ready to listen to it. Yeah? And so that they can be able to actually bring out what they are going through, and then you can be able to know how to handle it. Yeah? Then the other thing, let us also take time to also teach them what is it that we want them to learn. The Bible tells us, bring up a child in the ways of the Lord, and when they are grown up, they shall not depart from it. So let us also take time, because we as teachers, we are only partners. We come, we meet once a week, then 6 days they are on your end. So let us also do that. If it is on a Sunday, ask, what is it you learned? Yeah?
Get interested.
Get interested.
Yes.
Let them tell you if it's a memory verse. Which memory verse is this? Yeah. Can we recite it? Yeah. Can we remember the one for last week? And that way, they'll also even when they come to class, they'll be attentive, because they know mommy will still ask. Dad will want to know what is it I learned. So when we get involved like that, then we know, then we are conquering. Because one thing, we have the assurance that God loves them and God loves us.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And He's going to teach them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we agree to partner with God, He's more than willing. Yeah.
Now I'm imagining the parents are asking, Teacher Nelly,
Yes.
when new teachers come into Sunday school, into your department, so that they can be able to support our children as parents, so that we can have confidence in bringing our children to you. What do you do to the new teachers so that they can handle our children better?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What she didn't tell you is that she's a trainer. She's the one in charge of our induction. So all the teachers that join the children's ministry, they go through a session to be able to learn how to handle the children. We have an induction program which is headed by Mrs. Karaoke. Yeah. And then occasionally and oftenly we do our retreats, so that we do our refresher courses, of which she's still the lead counsel. She is the one who programs for that, and she is way in front in regards to that. So be confident, we are well taken care of in terms of teaching, refreshing, and ensuring that we are well equipped. Oftenly, we still have our monthly meetings in which we talk about the current things that are happening. We pray, we join up together to pray, and so that we are always on the move, so that we shall never be left behind, because there are so many things that are happening. Yeah.
Okay, and thank you so much, Nelly. I'm so grateful to God,
Yeah.
and also for you finding time to come and be with us.
Thank you very
And
much.
even that part of the induction.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is good that people know
We
who
are-
is it that trains us.
We are in the ministry together,
Yes.
and I thank God for that. So thank you so much for even finding time to be with us. And we are looking forward to even future episodes that we can host you,
Yeah.
and you continue educating our viewers so that we can continue learning and continue supporting our children.
Yeah.
Viewers, we come to the end of our session today, and I'm so happy to have learned something, one or two things, and I believe that you have also learned one or two things. We are going, as I said earlier, we are going to bring in also a medical practitioner who is going to talk about the mental health of our children. Teacher Mary has talked about being a pediatrician, nurse in the for the children. Let me just put it simply like that. So, and she has really given us all those tips that she has shared with us. But now we are also going to add with another person who deals with the mental health sector, the mental health part. And in our coming episode, we are going to bring a health practitioner on board to support us more. Thank you so much. If you'd like to get in touch with us, kindly do so by texting +254 114 404 200, and we'll be glad to listen to you and share with you more. Thank you so much. God bless you. Enjoy your day.